We have just won the Battle of Chancellorsville. I believe we have a chance against the Union Army. With this victory, they should be in fear. So what now but to launch an invasion at the north? It should definitely...
Wasn't there already an invasion to the north that we lost? What was it? Oh yeah, the Maryland campaign.
I don't know what he's talking about, but there totally wasn't a failed campaign that ended with the Battle of Antietam. Never happened. Anyways, as I was saying, this maneuver would upset the plans for the Union summer campaigning season and reduce the pressures on the besieged Confederate garrison at Vicksburg. This invasion could possibly lay rest the wars of Virginia and threatening surrounding states. No one will ever stop us, especially with our 75,000 troops. I, Lieutenant General Longstreet, commander of the 1st Corps, suggest that we lead our troops across the Shenandoah Valley. From here on out, we head north. I say, General AP, pay attention!
Oh my god, we gone over these battle plans like 100 times. I think it's always reinforces like pancakes.
But I took so long to set all these up. At least Lieutenant General Ewell can follow orders.
No! It took so long. These pieces will be avenged.
General Meade, the arrangements of the Union Army, 7 infantry corps, a cavalry corps, and an artillery reserve for a combined strength of more than 100,000 men. I have every bit of confidence in the strength of the Union Army. However, my men and my superiors lose faith in me, so I must resign.
What? Then who would control the Union Army? We have 3 days till the war happens.
Attention troops! From now on, Major General Meade will lead us to victory.
It is I, General McBruford. Men, I believe that the Confederate Army is coming from the west, so we will head to the 3 west ridges of Hurd, McPherson, and Seminary Ridge. These will delay the enemy, but we are not to engage, for their infantry troops are superior. While we hold it back, our Union infantry troops will arrive at Cemetery Hill and Culp's Hill. This is where we must stand our ground.
Alright, remember this is the first advancement of the new and improved campaign against the North. Brigadier General Archer and Davis, I will appoint both of you as the leaders of the 2 brigades.
Yes, sir, we shall lead the charge.
Hey, you remembered what we are doing here? It's like there's a war or something.
That's my question. It's almost like there isn't a gun right here.
Calm down, I'm just messing with you.
You know, as your commanding officer, I'm legally allowed to kill a bullet.
You know you would not shoot. Those Confeds over there.
Where? Right there!
Good thing the first shot of the war ain't me.
If you don't shut up right now, I'm gonna make the second shot of the war your head.
Damn! The Confederate Army has breached our primary defenses at Chambersburg Pike and has reached our fence posts. My brigade is doing a mighty fine job holding them back.
We are determined!
Our caverns would make them wish they took that political discussion.
We are determined!
But, can someone tell me why it's 10:20 a.m. and none of our reinforcements have showed up? Retreat! Oh, what the hell? Why are you so damn late?
1, I'm right on time. My time to shine is when you retreat. 2, don't curse at me. I'm your commanding officer. 3, how do you manage to feel so bad you get pushed all the way to McPherson Ridge? 4, I am the vanguard. I will break the ranks.
But sir, the Confederates have already taken over the North Pike.
So what? They took over Brigadier General Cutler's brigade. I'll just send out new orders. They will be sure to fall.
Major General John Reynolds, sir, I have captured a couple of hundred men with the Union Iron Brigade. Among those 100 men is Confederate officer Brigadier General Archer, sir.
Excellent. I shall place my army artillery squadrons there.
But there's supposed to be a bunch of Confederates there, though, sir.
How longer it is.
So, we're back again.
It would seem so.
Yeah.
In case y'all forgot, I am Lieutenant General James Longstreet.
I'm Lieutenant General Hill.
Richard Ewell.
So, did you guys hear about the death of the Union General?
It was beautiful. Hello, General Lee.
Don't say that. It's not out in the future.
How do you know the future?
Don't worry about it. Now look what you've done. I'm talking out of order. We're supposed to be scripted.
Dude, shut up.
Guys, imagine breaking the fourth wall.
At least we're back in order.
Right, let's cut that out. Can we cut that out?
So essentially, what happened after the Union General's death?
Basically, we engaged with our Confederate armies, regrouped, and flanked the Union's Iron Brigade, so they backed off.
And what about the Union armies?
They ran in a semicircle around Gettysburg, in which their forces were stretched so thin that we were able to infiltrate them with only reserve forces led by General Doubleday.
Around 2 p.m., the Confederate 2nd Corps Division of Major General Robert Rhodes and Jubal Early assaulted and outflanked the Union 1 and X-1 Corps positions. North and northwestern town suffered losses when assaulting the 1st Corps.
So, what happened to the Union?
They fell back yet again. Both north and west positions collapsed.
Keep in mind that on the first day, there were about 50,000 engaged.
If only this problem could be solved politically during the same result.
Oh boy, here comes General Lee. We gotta get going.
Emo, get back here! The Union's army defenses have great potential. They have the high ground. They underestimated our power. Take control of Cemetery Hill if practicable.
I served under Stonewall Jackson, and I say it's not practicable.
All of the troops on both sides are on the battlefield.
And all of the Union army is a fishhook shape around Cemetery Hill.
Because they know that when they lose, it's their funeral. And what more to die on the cemetery and buried free of charge by artillery fire.
Plans changed. We have heard gunshots on the left, so we will stop the Union's progression outward. I will have you Ewell to command the attack on the right flank. Furthermore, I'll have you Longstreet to attack on the right flank.
What about me?
You are with Ewell. We will meet here right back when all is over. We made so many mistakes. We were not supposed to meet up with the Union army so early in the flank. The stupid Unions made wicked changes of plans that cost us for the worst. They had the higher ground with artillery, took us by, not surprise, took us by confusion. We thought we had him when we pushed him back, but saw their general coming with 20,000 reinforcements. Oh, on General Lee, that was so bad we didn't know what to do. The map, it had everything. We had them surrounded, and we pushed them so far. Our mighty General Confederate McLaws got caught in the Valley of Death. Confederate General Law couldn't even take over Simple Hill.
I mean, at least you didn't have to sit through 2 hours of a useless artillery. I mean, because someone didn't know what to do.
Hey, calm down.
Shh, Ewell, go on.
So man decided to walk as slow as possible, and then he proceeded to miscommunicate to the entire brigade, so that one was ahead of the other. The one up front had to fall back, because the army that was supposed to watch the right was only halfway there. And by the time the brigade reached the battlefield, they had already retreated.
Hey, let's all take a breather.
If we do, it'll be our last breath.
I mean, Ewell didn't even mess up in the fact that he gave General Custer some first-hand battle experience.
Hey, look, it's General Lee. Oh, shit.
There is a weak point at Cemetery Hill. My plan is to renew the attack we did some day ago and use the same plan again. Longstreet, you will attack from the left, and Ewell, you will attack from Culp's Hill. This damn artillery attack caught us off guard now. Change of plans, Longstreet. You will command Pickett's corps and 8 more brigades. We can use artillery to ease up the lines. His plan was to assault the enemy's left center by a column to be composed of McLaw's and Hood's division, reinforced by Pickett's brigades. I thought that it would not do so. That the point had been fully tested that day before by more men, when all were fresh, that the enemy were there looking for us. As we heard him during the night putting up his defenses, I asked the strength of the column. He stated 15,000. Opinion was that expressed that the 15,000 men who could make successful assault over the field had never been arrayed for battle. But he was impatient of listening and tired of talking, and nothing was left but to proceed.
The results of this victory are priceless. The charm of Robert E. Lee's invincibility is broken. The army of the Potomac has at last found the general that can handle it, and has stood nobly up to its terrible work in spite of its long, disheartening list of hard-fought failures. Copperheads are paused and dumb for the moment at least. Government is strengthened, fourfold at home and abroad. George Templeton strong.
The Civil War was fought in 10,000 places.
At Big Bend, Big Sandy, and the Big Sunflower River, from the Bunker Hill, West Virginia, and Blue Springs, Tennessee, and Cairo, Illinois, to Golgotha Church, Georgia, and Christiansburg, Kentucky. At Citrus Point on the Cimarron River, and Long Cow Skin Bottom, at Pebbly Run and La Gloria to Pass, and Gettysburg. On November 19th, Lincoln traveled to Gettysburg to dedicate the new Union Cemetery. The featured speaker was Edward Everett of Massachusetts, a diplomat, clergyman, and celebrated orator. The president had been invited almost as an afterthought to offer a few appropriate remarks. Everett spoke for not quite 2 hours. Then Lincoln rose. The local photographer took his time focusing. Presumably, the president could be counted on to go on for a while. But he spoke just 269 words. He started off by reminding his audience that just 87 years ago had passed since the founding of the nation, and then he went on to embolden the Union cause with some of the most stirring words ever spoken. Lincoln was heading back to his seat before the photographer could open the shutter.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth from this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives, that that nation might live. it is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men living and dead who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but can never forget what they did here. It is for us the living, rather, to be dedicated here to unfinished work, which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to great tasks remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion, to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.